On today's Gavin's Good News vlog, we are talking about Andy Murray. It's my top 5 Andy Murray moments after his announcement to retire.
No, I don't see it often, and I probably should.
Hello, what's going on, folks? So welcome to another edition of Gavin's Good News vlog. This is the place to come for the best of positive, upbeat and happy news around in the world. Thank you so much indeed for being with us today. On today's programme, we are talking about the legacy that Andy Murray is leaving towards British tennis. I mean, what a wonderful champion he has been for the sport and also for British tennis. 3 majors he's won, a Davis Cup in 2015. He was the first British man to win Wimbledon since 1936 after Fred Perry. I mean, that is just a landmark in its own right. He's been a huge proponent for equal rights in the sport because over the years there's been there's not really been a level footing in tennis. He announced he's going to be quitting in a rather tearful press conference ahead of the Australian Open in 2019 this year.
I spoke to my team and I told them that, I can't keep doing this. And I felt like making that decision. I said to my team, look, I think I can kind of get through this until Wimbledon. That is where I would like to. That's where I would like to stop playing. But I'm also not certain I'm able to do that.
It's tough to see Murray like that. Normally known for being quite emotional. We saw him at the 2012 Wimbledon final when he lost to Roger Federer. I think that's when people started really warming to him and loving him again, because he did have a falling out period with the British public here anyway. When he burst onto the scene as a surly teenager and was a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah, said that he wasn't going to support England in any football tournament or in any tournaments. I thought let's do a top 5 moments of what Andy Murray's career has been about, and let me know if you agree with them, let me know if you disagree. But these are my top 5 Andy Murray moments of his career as a tennis player. He hasn't quite quit just yet, by the way. I mean, he might quit by the time you watch this video. So the first one, and this is, well, I say the first one, this is number 5, 5th important in my opinion, is the 2012 US Open final victory, the first major of his career. So I think that this one was the 5th most important one in my opinion, because yes, it was his first major. Yes, it was a big breakthrough in terms of, finally getting the monkey off his back. The first major British male champion since 1936 for Fred Perry. I mean, I think that this one was such a memorable match because it was nearly 5 hours long. It's Novak Djokovic, his old foe, one of his old friends. I think it's the joint longest US Open final in history. Murray had lost 4 Grand Slam finals before going into this one as well. There was a lot at stake here. There was a lot of people questioning his bottle. A lot of people saying, has he got it in him to be a major champion? And he proved all the doubters wrong and won that match. Murray won it 3-2, went 2 up, and then Djokovic came back and he managed to close out the final set and hold his nerve for that first major. So that's my 5th one on the list. So number 4 on the list is the 2012 Olympic final in London. So Murray going into the final up against Roger Federer, the man who just beat him in Wimbledon and made him cry those tears of hurt. And he won this one in straight sets. And yeah, it wasn't a major. Yeah, it wasn't quite one of the more prestigious ATP events, but at the same time, it was a tournament win on home soil. The London 2012 Olympics were just a phenomenal games. I think everybody from around the world who was in London, I was lucky enough to be in London and reporting on the games at that time. It was just a really captivating moment, really. And I think that the way that he won that match against Federer, again, it was like, he says it was his most important victory. He says it was his biggest win. To go away from the Olympics with a gold medal in the sport that you've dedicated your life to, is just, I can only imagine what that is like. So yeah, fair play. That is number 4 on the list. So number 3, in my opinion, is the 2016 Wimbledon final win. So this is his second Wimbledon. So it's not the first one. I'm not going to say anything, but it's later on the list. Yeah, I may as well just say now. So the 2016 Wimbledon final, when he beat Milos Raonic in straight sets. This one was it's not at the higher end in my opinion, because he was sort of already the favourite going into this tournament, and people already knew the quality that he possessed. Raonic, he had a big serve on him, but Murray was, I think, the overwhelming favourite to win this one, and he did so in style. But it was one for the crowds, really. It was an amazing tournament, that one, the 2016 Wimbledon, and that, again in the same year that he won Olympic gold too. So I think it was another crowning year for him in that respect. He had a stint as of world #1 for a really long period, not long after that as well. So I think that it was a really good tournament win for him, but expected in a way.
'Cause I can't get enough.
Just ate loads before doing this. Right, number 2. Yeah, it's not good. Don't want to bring it up right now on camera, do I? Right, number 2 is the Davis Cup win for Great Britain. 2015 Davis Cup. Another one that was a long time coming, since 1936 as well. I think that one was one that the tennis diehards were really happy for, because he helped them. He won 8 of his matches in the run up to that. And he was part of the team that beat Belgium in the final. I think this one deserves to come second because it was part of a team dynamic, and you have to work together and rally with each other in order to win the match, really. So it's not just about your individual performance, you've got to all come together. And I think for a British point of view, I think Murray was an integral part of that, no doubt. By far the best player in the team. And my number 1 Andy Murray moment is the 2013 Wimbledon final, where he beat Novak Djokovic. And it was the first Wimbledon title that he won, and it was the one that really set the emotions off for the fans, for everyone watching. He finally avenged that defeat in the previous year to Roger Federer, so he beats his old mate Djokovic again in straight sets. It was always going to be one of those two, I think, because Federer and Nadal went early on in that tournament, and this was one, I think, that he had to win to prove to people that he'd already won one major. Can he go on to win more? And this was one that he didn't let anyone down in at all, because he won it in straight sets, and it was a difficult match. The last set, particularly, when it was he had 3 match points and let Djokovic back in, and then broke him on those points. And that showed grit, that showed determination, and that showed desire to do it. And I think that you look at the emotion at the end of that game when he went over and was into the crowd and hugged his mum Judy at the end of it as well, and everyone was just everyone was loving it. For him to win that was again probably the most significant a lot, because it was the first Wimbledon, and I think that to win Wimbledon as a British player, it's the pinnacle of your tennis career, isn't it? I say this as a seasoned pro. I can't play tennis to save my life, but I just love Andy Murray. I love the spirit that he's brought to the game, and I think that the more people like that who can go on and excel and become world #1 in their fields are just phenomenal, really. So let me know what you think about my top 5, whether you agree with them, and what you think of Andy Murray's career as well. We'd love to know. Hit us up in the comments below. As ever, do like, subscribe, share, and hit the notifications bell on this video if you like what you see. I'd love that. And as ever, thank you very much indeed for watching. This has been Gavin's Good News Vlog. Stay positive, keep happy, and we'll see you again next time.